Hey y'all, I know it's been a while. I haven't made any videos, and well, I guess I could explain that a little bit. I just haven't felt like doing it. Um, it was a combination of not being able to get my AdSense set up, and I swear I'll shut up about it soon. But I haven't made a video in a while, so I thought I'd explain. It was a combination of that and just wanting to take a break, and just the whole fact that like anyone I know that I work with or anything, they could like find my videos very easily and see me talking online to people and drinking and smoking, and it's kind of uncomfortable, but whatever. Every once in a while, I guess I'll still do it because it's fun. There's a fun part to it. And what I want to talk about today is not TV or movies, strangely enough, but I do occasionally talk about video games on here, and I am very much into video games. Um, I'll maybe throw in a little bit of TV and movies at the end, but today I want to talk about my game of the year, my personal choice for game of the year, because on my podcast I don't get to choose. We have to fight over it and have to come to a unanimous decision. And I think that my pick is not going to win. There's a slim chance. But first, I just want to talk about what I've been playing recently, and it's well, you might recognize this. That's the Wii U gamepad. And I've been playing a lot of Wii U recently. And right now on pause I have Epic Mickey 2. You can kind of see the map, I guess, there. Yeah. It doesn't really do much with the gamepad and support. And you probably will hear the music in the background. People always complain about hearing my TV, so you'll probably hear it. Although I think this is decent background music. Anyways, yeah, I've been playing the Wii U and a lot of it. I bought it the day it came out, November 18th. It's been a full week, or almost 2 weeks now. I thought I'd share my thoughts on some of the games and, what I think of the system. But first off, the controller, quickly becoming my favorite controller. It's light. It, fits in your hands comfortably. I have smaller hands, but this thing is built for people with big hands. And you could go into a store and you could try one out, but you go into a store, it's tethered to the demo unit, and it's going to feel heavier than it actually is. This thing's light. Like I said, it fits in your hands well, and when you're sitting on the couch and it's in your lap, it's controller sex. It's quickly becoming my favorite controller. Is it quite up to the best controller of all time? I don't know. I do know that I like this a lot. I like just the way it feels. And then you have this nice screen in the middle they could do fun things with, and the touchscreen functionality. I think that a lot of multi-platform games, unless they are like poorly reviewed on the Wii U, or unless they're like real online shooter heavy and whatnot, I think I'll probably get them on this. If I care about playing online with my friends, it'll probably still be 360, but for just stuff like, say, I don't know, say I was going to get Assassin's Creed, or say I was going to get Epic Mickey, I'll probably get it on this because I really, really love this controller. And so that's the main reason to get the system. It's not more technically advanced than the 360 or PS3, but I feel like what it could do is on par. Now, you could go into it and get into the specs and all that, and I won't. I don't care about that stuff. I care about, does the game play? Does it look good? And everything I've played on the Wii U so far has been up to par with 360 and PS3, except with this sexy new controller. So that's my thoughts on the Wii U. I'm happy that they have stepped up the online. It's I get to finally play I'm gonna get to play Mario, Zelda, Metroid, all that in 3D, or 3D, fuck 3D, in HD. So that's all nice. Like I said, it's not a step up from the other systems, but I really love the controller. So it's on par, and I get Nintendo games in HD with a really great controller. That's my thought on it. I feel like there's still room for improvement when it comes to the online and this and that. But dude, at least they got rid of friend codes. So, anyways, let's get into. I got a bunch of launch games for it, and so I'd tell you what I think, and then like I said, I'll get into my game of the year, and maybe touch on movies and whatnot. I mean, this is gonna be kind of a longer, rambling video because I haven't done one in forever, and why not? Anyways, first up, Epic Mickey 2: The Power of Two. I got this game because I love the first one. The first one was my favorite game of 2010. Maybe just slightly edging out Red Dead Redemption, but the sequel, on the other hand, I'm not deep into it. Like I said, I just got into it recently after all the other launch games, and I'm playing it now. And the sequel, it has that like same charm to it. Like, you know, the thing I loved about the first one is like it was going on a demented ride through Disney World. This still has that going for it, but a lot of the areas are the same. They didn't really tighten the design of it or anything. The main thing they added was local co-op where someone could always play as Oswald. And that sucks. I hate games where you always have someone with you the entire time. And if you're playing by yourself, which you're going to probably be doing with this because it doesn't have online co-op. It's local only. So unless you're like 8 years old and you still have friends that come over every day, then you'll get a lot out of it. But playing by yourself, you're going to have an AI-controlled Oswald the whole time, and he sucks. Like, the programming is terrible for it. The AI is atrocious. So he doesn't always do what you want him to do, or he takes forever to do it, in which case you're standing around holding your dick, waiting for Oswald to do something. So, by far the most disappointing launch title for me. And the reason I bought this on Wii U is this, it came out the same day as Wii U. I actually had it pre-ordered on 360, but I switched it over because I was like, well, you're getting a brand new system, might as well get, like, even though this is a multi-platform game, might as well get it on the Wii U, you know, because that's what you're going to want to play. But, yeah, it's, I'm going to reserve judgment, but for now, I'm going to say I like the first one more. Even though I had to play it on the Wii with the stupid Wii remote and nunchuck, and it was in standard definition. This is HD, and you get to play it with, well, you can play it with a normal controller or something like this. Oh, that doesn't sound good. That sounds bad. That's kind of scary. But yeah, it's, you know, for all those things, you know, I was so excited for this because I'm like, oh, I get Epic Mickey 2, but it's going to be in HD. I can play it with a regular controller. Unfortunately, the game is not as good as it should be, so too bad. But like I said, I'm reserving judgment on it. Up next, this game I did not buy. This game I actually received from the publisher for review, and my review is live on vagary.tv. I gave it a 4 out of 5, so you can probably guess I really, really like this game. It's Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed, sequel to Sonic and Sega All-Star Racing. You can go look at the review. I really enjoy this game. I think this is the best kart racer in years. I didn't go as far as to say this in the review, but I'll say it right here. I think it's the best kart racing game since Mario Kart 64. It's better than anything Mario Kart has done in years. Mainly due to the fact that, well, one, it's a lot deeper. There's a lot, like, there's the Grand Prix mode, but there's also a World Tour mode where there's a 2D level select map, kind of like the 2D Mario's, where you're going up. There's an overworld kind of thing, like a level select map. They have that in here, and it's just different races and events and whatnot. Now, some of the special events in this are very difficult. The game in general is quite challenging, which will turn some people off, but you could always you could switch to easy difficulty. The only thing about that, which I didn't mention in my review, is when you're on easy difficulty, you only get 1 star per level that you beat, and you're using the stars to unlock extra characters. So if you're playing on easy, you're not going to unlock all the characters. But But yeah, it's quite challenging. But the thing that's really great about this game, and the reason they call it transformed, is that within the levels, you're not just driving, you're also boating and flying. Your car will transform on the fly without you pressing a button. It's super smooth. Like the transitions, you don't press anything. You take off, and all of a sudden you're flying, and wings come out, you know? And that opens it up for really neat level design. So I really enjoy. I'm really enjoying it. So yeah, I gave it a good review. That aspect of it, like the flying and the boating and stuff, you're gonna really enjoy that. Anything else I could say about it? I don't know. Oh, there's not a lot of people playing online. That's the one letdown. I think on 360 and PS3 you'll fare better. It's not like this is selling on droves on those systems, but they do have a much bigger install base than the Wii U. Like the Wii U, I'm lucky if there's like 4 people in a match. But yeah, this is recommended. It's budget price. It's $40. It's better than, like I said, if you're gonna buy Mario Kart 7, don't buy this instead. Same price, it's better. So, up next, this is one of the big surprises for me. And it may be a surprise to you that I would say this, but Mario Brothers U. I wasn't gonna buy this game because I was like, I could beat this in a rental. It's 2D Mario. You could beat it in a day, and I did beat it in a day. But for that day, I was obsessed with this goddamn game, and I also should say I raced through it. So like, there's a lot of shit I missed. I mean, I went through to the end. I beat the final boss, and then you unlock some of the extras. One of the extras when you beat these new 2D Mario games is the ability to save whenever you want. I'm gonna just throw that out there that you should be able to do that from the start. I shouldn't have to play through 5 levels. But that's what kept me addicted to it. Is like, I would get to a save point, I'd be like, okay, after the next save point, and then you get to the save point, you're like, one more level. And you're like, well, I beat that level, so I want to get to the next save point. So maybe Nintendo does know what they're doing when it comes to that, but this game surprised me because I'm not a fan of the recent 2D Marios. I think that the one on the Wii was good. The one that came in the red box was good. But the DS ones, I don't like. Like, I didn't like New Super Mario Bros. On DS. I sure as fuck didn't like New Super Mario Bros. 2 on 3DS. They're just lazy. But their console versions of the 2D ones have been pretty spectacular. This is, in my opinion, this is the best 2D Mario since Super Mario World. It's just really well done. The only thing I'll say is I thought that the final castle in the Wii one was a little bit better. But for general, overall level design and all that, I'll take this one. And I plan to go back and play the challenge mode and to try to get all the coins in this to open up the secret world, because this was a fantastic game. If you buy a Wii U and you're in the launch window still, where there's not much coming out, which is the next couple months. So if you buy a Wii U sometime before summer next year, get this. This is one of the must-buy games. Excuse me. Really, I was surprised by it. Like I said. Next up, Nintendo Land. This is a mini game collection. It comes packed in with the deluxe version of the console, which is what I got. And I think it's 12 mini games. Yeah, it's 12. And most of them play off the fact that one person uses the gamepad and other people use old Wii remotes. So one person has the advantage of a second screen, and they're kind of competing against the other people. And it's much deeper and more gamey than Wii Sports was, which was the big pack-in that sold the Wii. There's more going on here, and I think it's probably kind of cooler, but it's definitely not going to have the impact that Wii Sports did. It's not going to be that revolution that Wii Sports was. It's not going to get your mom and dad to buy it. But it's fun. I'll say this: it's fun to play with other people. I went to my sister's house, who she and her fiance, they got the deluxe as well same day. I went over to try it out with them. We had a blast. It was really fun. But at the same time, I was like, as a single player game, which is this is gonna be for a lot of adults that get the deluxe, because like I don't have friends over to, hey guys, let's play Nintendo Land. I don't think it has like the staying power as a single player experience. I've seen reviews where they said it did, and there are challenges or mini games in here that are single player only. I'm trying to think of one. Single player Donkey Kong Crash Course. That's one where you're going through like a Donkey Kong level and you're tilting the controller to get through it. That's single player only. So there's stuff that is only single player, but there's also stuff that is only multiplayer. So you say you're buying this for yourself. Some of the games, a third of them are going to be locked off if you're playing by yourself. And it's just unfortunate. Like, I think I would be way more into this if it had online multiplayer, which it doesn't. And I think that's a huge problem. If Nintendo's releasing this new system saying, hey, we're on board with the hardcore gamer and we're embracing the future or the present or 5 years ago even, and you release a pack-in game for your system that is a multiplayer game that is local multiplayer only, I think is a huge miss. And I think it devalues the game. I don't think this is worth the $60 that it sells for. I'll be honest, after I played it at my sister's, I'm like, that was really fun, but I don't think I'd play by myself. So I had mine shrink wrapped still, and I tried to return it or exchange it at Walmart to get another game, and it didn't work. I guess the barcode scans differently, but yeah, if you have friends over a lot, cool. Otherwise, I would say, like, get the white version of the Wii and buy Mario, and then buy like an external hard drive or whatever. For the Wii U, last but not least, certainly not least, is Zombie U. Got mixed reviews from critics, but like, say if you saw the GameSpot review, you might be like, oh my god, this game is dog shit. Way to fucking blow it on the Wii U launch titles. If you are buying a Wii U, you need to get Mario U and you need to get Zombie U. With one caveat, this is for people who like survival horror and people who like survival horror only. Like, if you don't like survival horror, you're gonna hate this game. So that's where I think it gets some of its bad reviews. Otherwise, it's excellent for a launch title. Granted, it has its bugs, it has certain shallow elements, some unrefined mechanics and whatnot. But the ideas in here, one, this makes the most interesting use of your gamepad. You're doing all sorts of stuff on there, and it happens in real time. So it adds an intensity to the situations you're in. Like, if you're going to look through your backpack and stuff, your character on the screen, on the TV screen, gets down on the floor, he takes off his backpack, he's digging through it. You're item managing on the screen, but everything's real time. You're not paused. A zombie could walk up right behind you and eat you. So that is interesting. But the game, like, is just full of awesome ideas. It's kind of like Resident Evil 1 meets fucking Dark Souls. Like, if you die, you're dead forever. And then you wake up as the player, you wake up as a new survivor. And if you could make it to your previous survivor and kill their zombie, then you could loot the zombie and get your stuff back. If you die on the way, you're fucked. And like, near the end of the game, like, I'm very close to the end, and I'm writing the review for this, but near the end of the game, I lost everything. Like, sniper rifle, shotgun, silenced pistol, Molotov cocktails, all that shit. And I'm going at the end of the game with, when you start off, you have a cricket bat and a pistol with 6 bullets. So, very hardcore survival horror. And if you get off on, like, resource management and that stuff, fucking around with your inventory, you're gonna love Zombie U. In my opinion, I think it's, like I said, it's one of the 2 must-buy launch titles for the Wii U. So, overall, I was gonna buy the damn thing anyways, because I have to have my new Marios, my new Metroids, my new Zeldas. But I'm very satisfied with the system. Yeah, there are things I wish were cooler. Like, I wish the online was a little better. At the same time, it's about on par with PS3. So, do I wish it was truly next gen in terms of like, its power, where like it would blow people away and they had to buy it. Yeah, that'd be nice. But at the same time, it's also nice to have a Nintendo home console that can play the games that come out. There's Assassin's Creed 3 on it. There's Mass Effect 3. Like, it has the games. It can do the games that other systems do. And I get my Nintendo games in HD now. And I love, love this controller. So that's my overall verdict on it. Is I love it. It's a buy, and you need to get Mario U and Zombie U with it. That's that. As for Game of the Year, I think that for the podcast I'm on, the Perfectly Sane Show, I have a feeling we have to do it unanimous. I have a feeling the winner is going to be this game, which is... Can you read that? Halo 4. This is the collector's edition box. I bought the collector's edition to get basically get the map pass. I have a feeling this is going to win it, and it's a worthy title to win Game of the Year. It's extremely well done. Probably the best Halo game, and they've all been great. And I feel like the other members of the show tend to go for gameplay over anything, like fundamental design over everything. And Halo 4, if you ask me, if you're just going for fundamental core design, yes, it wins. And I almost have no problems with it winning. It's just a boring choice. It's another Halo. Yes, it's really well done. The story's well done in it. The multiplayer's great. The graphics, I mean, it's probably the best looking game on 360. All that stuff, right? But it's another Halo. What is it doing to push the industry forward? What, Spartan Ops mode, which I haven't played, but it doesn't seem like people are totally in love with it. In fact, Chris, who is the host of the Perfectly Sane Show, he reviewed the game and he said Spartan Ops is no replacement for Firefight. So yes, is it technically the best well-made game this year? Probably. And I'd rather see it win than like fucking another Call of Duty. But for me, and the way it's been the last couple of years, it doesn't matter to me if a game has its flaws and it has its glitches and whatnot. Like, Epic Mickey 1 wasn't perfect, but that was my choice. L.A. Noire, there was definitely problems with the interrogation system, but that was my choice. And I think what it is for me, when it comes to Game of the Year now, it's not about gameplay versus narrative, like which one's more important. I think generally I don't give a fuck about narrative in games unless it's in the forefront. So games like Red Dead or L.A. Noire or Beyond Good and Evil, like they're very small handful of games where I care about narrative. So if you're thinking that's why I'm going to choose the game that I'm going to choose is because of narrative, well, yes, that played a big deal on it. But for me, choosing Game of the Year now, it has to be about the game that touched me the most, that had the strongest lasting impact on me, and what I feel will have the strongest lasting impact on the industry as a whole. And for me, that game this year is The Walking Dead from Telltale Games, which was an episodic release that they released throughout the year. It was 5 episodes in total. They're all out now. They'll be available next week. Actually, I think it got pushed back 1 week to December 11th. And the reasons being, one, it's a fantastic game. Although I know certain other members of our cast are going to argue that it's not really a game, that it's more story than anything. It's kind of like a choose your own adventure book, which it is, but at the same time, it is a video game. You play it on your Xbox or your PlayStation or your PC or your iPhone or whatever the fuck you're playing it on. It's a video game. You could say It doesn't have a lot of elements that are normally in video games, but it is a video game. So I think that's one of the arguments that's going to be against it. It is like, it's an interactive story. It's like watching a really good TV show or reading a really good book, but you get to, it's a choose your own adventure. And I think the other thing that people will say against it is it has its glitches, which it did. Episode 3 in particular, I remember had a bunch of fucking crazy glitches. But yeah, anyways, if you haven't played it, it's like I said, it's episodic. It is very much story driven. It's basically an interactive story. You don't need any skills to play it. Like, I'm very much recommending this to my dad and my stepmom. I really want them to play it. Anybody could play it. I wouldn't recommend it for kids because it's very dark subject matter. It is not tied into the TV show nearly at all. There's a cameo from Glenn in episode 1, I think, and that's it. Well, I think you are at Herschel's farm at one point. Anyways, it's not tied into the TV show really. As far as I know, it's its own original story that is apart from the comics and the TV show. I don't read the comics. And it is excellent. It is. I think it has the best story. I think it has the best main character. I think it has the best non-playable character of the year. I think it was an emotional roller coaster where I really cared about everything that was happening. I cried at the end of it. Yes, I'm not afraid to admit I cried at the end. And I'd be willing to bet that a lot of people I know cried at the end. It's just a great story, and it's a great game. And beyond that, I think, well, one, it pushes narrative in the medium forward. There's never been a game with writing this good and characters that are so well drawn and that you actually care. I know a lot of people care about what happens in every game. Like, I know people that think that, like, the writing in everything, like any video game, like, they're into the story. I'm not usually. So if a video game story pulls me in, it's pretty remarkable. And I think it makes a strong case for episodic gaming and downloadable games. This is a game that was, I paid $20 for the whole season. So the whole game was $20, and I think it's better than most $60 products that are put out on disc. So I think it has an impact. It gets sold well, as far as I know. It has that impact on the industry. Narrative in the medium, and pushing the medium towards digital and towards episodic, which are things that I might not necessarily always be for, but in this case I think it worked for the game, and I think that, like it or not, it has that impact that's going to go forward much more than, like, as great as Halo 4 is, it's Halo. It's not going to change anything. If anything, like, Halo 4 was so good that it'll bring a lot of shooter fans back around to it. Like, people that are sick of Call of Duty, like me, will go back to it. Cool. That's great, but to me, that's not Game of the Year material. So that's my argument about Game of the Year. Let me know what you think. I was gonna go. I'll go briefly into, like, movies and shit, but I do kind of have to piss, so this is pretty much gonna wrap it up. But in terms of movies, I haven't seen too much recently that I thought was great. I really liked Argo. I thought Argo was pretty great. I saw Sinister. I thought that was pretty good. I hoped for more. It was still really good, though. Other than that, I haven't really seen much. I've been so busy with games that I haven't played a lot of, or watched a lot of movies. I will say, regarding Walking Dead, I'm sorry I'm, like, rocking like this, but I gotta piss. Walking Dead, I feel season 3 is better than the first two. It's good. And I feel like Sons of Anarchy season 5, is it now, is awesome so far, like, really good. Also, on Black Friday, I got some crazy deals. I have all of Breaking Bad. And I also bought Hesher, which is a movie from last year that I think is one of the best. I loved it. And I have a whole bunch of more Blu-rays on the way. I'd go more into it, but I have to piss. So later, thanks for watching.